all. Chris Clues here, speaker and author of the book series What 80s Pop Culture Teaches Us About Today's Workplace, with another workplace nugget of wisdom from an 80s movie. Now, this is a high school coming-of-age movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, one of my favorites. Mr. Hand, the history teacher, and Spicoli, the stoner surfer dude, they have a complex relationship. Mr. Hand doesn't like truancy, and Spicoli's always late. Mr. Hand gets fed up and says, "Mr. Spicoli, why are you continuously late to my class? Why do you waste my time?" To which Spicoli says, "I don't know." Mr. Hand says, "I like that. I don't know." He puts those 3 words on his chalkboard and he says, "I'm going to leave these up here for all my classes to see, giving you full credit, of course, Spicoli." To which Spicoli says, "Well, all right." He's happy he's getting credit for something in school. Now, how many times in the workplace have you been asked a question you didn't know the answer? If you're sitting there saying never, well then in the words of Enid Strict, aka the church lady from Saturday Night Live, isn't that special? But for the rest of us, we've all been in that position. I have multiple times, and I race around in my head trying to find an answer. Unfortunately, what comes out usually sounds more like Lloyd Dobler's rambling answer in the movie Say Anything, when Diancourt's father asks Lloyd what his plans are for the future, to which Lloyd replies, "I've thought about this quite a bit, sir, and I'd have to say, considering what's waiting out there for me, I don't want to sell anything, buy anything, or process anything as a career. I don't want to sell anything bought or processed, or buy anything sold or processed, or process anything sold, bought, or processed, or repair anything sold, bought, or processed." Whew, that's a lot of words. Rambling and a bit confusing without a real answer. But fortunately, Lloyd Dobler was super cool and he could rely on his kickboxing skills, the sport of the future as he called it. I'm not that super cool, maybe you are, so I don't have that kind of thing to fall back on. But it's normal to want to answer the question that's directed of you, especially when it's your manager or when it's a room full of your team members. But what if you don't have the answer? Herein lies the lesson from Jeff Spicoli and Mr. Hand. It really is okay to say, "I don't know." What did he just say? Audible gasp can be heard coming from the room, and a hush falls over the crowd. 3 words that have been treated as taboo in the business world and viewed as a one-way ticket down the corporate ladder. How dare you not be omnipotent? You should be the equivalent of the all-knowing and all-seeing eye of the 3 witches in Clash of the Titans, the 1981 original, not the 2010 remake. The idea that we should all have the answers at the time someone asks a question is such an old-school approach to business, and dare I say, unrealistic. Furthermore, the idea of saying "I don't know" is a sign of weakness and vulnerability, and it implies that you aren't proficient at your job, is just plain silly. On the contrary, saying those 3 words is actually a sign of strength, confidence, and character. You've admitted that you're human. Oh, the horror. Admitting that you don't know can position you as a leader in the eyes of the other team members. They'll now look at you as someone who took a chance. And now you've paved the way for everybody else to step up and be honest and transparent. I must, however, caveat this with something. When saying "I don't know," it's always good practice to follow it up with "I'll get the answer for you," or "I'll get back to you, let me do some research." Although I believe strongly in the power of those 3 words, "I don't know," it doesn't stand up very well on its own. But remember that "I don't know" is actually a sign of strength, confidence, and character. Don't forget about me for your events and conferences, and stay rad, everybody.